What's good, show trying to the most woke, no joke, and I'm back again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. This video is more about me asking for your opinion than me giving mine, though I will give my opinion. But you had the title. My question for y'all is, y'all can let me know in the comments below. You let me know on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Sheltron. Same as the YouTube channel. But my question for you is, what do you think are the top 4 or 5 needs? Let's say top 4 because we have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, and our 5th pick will be in the 5th round. What are your top 4 needs for the Panthers this year? As y'all know, for the last few months, fans, the GMs, people in the war room, front offices have been worrying and thinking about what the team needs, like analyzing and going over how they fared last year, people leaving this year, their new personnel. What are your biggest needs for the Panthers for this upcoming year, and why? Don't just tell me what it is. Let me know why you think that, with a pretty good reason. And I'll give you what I think my top 4 are right now. Before I do that, I'll give a little context. Last year we were what were we? 28th in the pass game last year. 28th in the pass game. That's not good. That's not good enough at all. What was it? 192 yards per game in the air. That's just that won't get the job done. That won't get the job done. Although it kind of did, because we were number 4th in the league in rushing. And I mean, when you have we have a basically terrible offensive scheme on one side, with only the Ravens, Colts, Bills, and Bears being worse than you, and those are basically the worst teams other than the Bengals, if you want to talk about pass yards. And the Bengals are 1 rank above us, so we can talk about it. But you need to be great at another part of your game, and that's just the rush game. But let's be real about that as well. We didn't really have a lot of good running from our running backs last year. Our O-line could really protect Cam to a certain extent, pretty well enough, I'd say. But in the rush game, we got no push in the line. We had no push in the trenches. Our running backs couldn't get much done, and really, Cam carried our rush game. Let's be real. Cam carried our rush attack last year, and it was no joke. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, passing, we ranked 18th in the league in pass defense. I think it was 229 yards a game. But the big thing is, we allowed a 92.9 QBR last year through the year, and that's terrible. I think that's like bottom 5 or 6 QBR allowed in the league, and we just can't let that happen. That just cannot happen. Where is it at? Actually, it's 10th. That actually ranks 10th in the league, 10th highest. So that's like, so we're bottom 20. We're ranked like 22, I'm guessing, about-ish. 22 or 23 in QBR, if we're going by like lowest to highest. So that's not great. And then rush defense, we have a great front 7. So we're ranked number 3 in rush defense. That's why when people talk about like we need to get a really great DN or a linebacker in the first couple rounds, I just ignore that, because we have a really good front 7, especially with KK, Pep coming back, and Dontari Poe in the front. Let me know. I mean, let me know we got a ball hawk and Luke. I mean, if we need help, if we are that bad in the rush game, let me find out, because I don't see it. I just don't see it. So I only know what my top 4 needs are for the Panthers this year. Number 1, we need secondary. Now, I know the secondary was ranked higher than the passing game, but you have to keep in mind and keep it in perspective that Cam was hurt the first 3 or 4 weeks. Let's call it 3 weeks, but maybe even the 4th. The first 3 or more weeks, Cam was hurt, and then we lost Greg Olsen. What was it, 8 to 10 weeks? We didn't have our number 1 receiving threat. Kelvin Benjamin was not good for us. Kelvin Benjamin did not fit our team. He came to camp out of shape. This man does not have good routes. He can't get separation, no speed. He's all size, no production. So we had to depend on number 2 and 3 receivers all year. And let's keep it real. And Christian McCaffrey. And let's keep it real. That's not a real indication of our passing offense. We just had bad luck all year long with our passing offense. And I think with us being in the hardest division with QB and wide receiver tandems, and with the Falcons, Saints, and even the Bucs to a certain extent. The Bucs are bad. We all know this, but don't doubt Jameis Winston and Mike Evans. Don't doubt them. You cannot sleep on Mike Evans for a second. He'll blow you up in a minute. But so I think that that DB is definitely our #1 priority because, like Drew Brees, like I said before in a different video, Drew Brees and the Saints know every year since that Super Bowl, was that 2011? They've had Drew Brees. He's been a top 3 quarterback in the league. And they had no rush attack for the last few years up until just last year with Kamara and Mark Ingram. But they had a top 3 quarterback in the league slinging it 4,000-yard seasons, 5,000-yard seasons, killing people through the air. But without a defense, what are you going to do? You can put up 30 points a game, but when your defense is so bad that people can put up 40 on you every game, what are you going to do? You need defense. Defense wins games. Offense sells tickets. I think that our biggest need this year is a defensive back. Now, whether you agree with me that we should double dip in a cornerback and safety in the first 2 rounds, that's up to your judgment. I don't really mind if we don't double dip. I'd rather we did, but it's not a big deal to me. But as long as we get someone in the secondary in the first round, if we only get one, I want to get a safety. But if we double dip, I want corner then safety. But yeah, definitely a secondary person, a defensive back, someone in the secondary for our first pick, or just our first biggest need. Second biggest need, wide receiver. Like I said, we were getting torched. If we can get Cam one good weapon, now I know Funchess is he's a really big target, and is Curtis Samuel going to be back? Is he going to be ready to go? Jameer Byrd, is he going to be ready to go? We have Torrey Smith. He's a good possession receiver, or not really possession receiver, but he's good for a third and medium. Good move the sticks guy. We have Greg Olsen. So I'm not really concerned with our receiving core outside of finding a definite #1. I don't want a small guy. I don't need another slot receiver, another guy who's 5'11", 6 foot. We have a ton of those. I want someone big. I want someone who's going to change culture for us, and we can definitely find that in the second round. I wholeheartedly believe that. But if we do go for it first, I still think that, for me, wide receiver is our second biggest need, not our first. Third biggest need is a toss-up for me. It can go between either a running back or an interior lineman. Running back, I'll do that first. Look, man, we need a power back. Christian McCaffrey, I've been seeing a lot of Christian McCaffrey hate. People saying he's a receiver playing running back. I mean, we have a running back playing receiver in Curtis Samuel. But I think that Christian McCaffrey can be a lot bigger of a threat if we have a real power back. Now, Jay Stu was nice for us for so many years, but look, he lost a step last year. He wasn't himself. We had to move on. So I think we find a good power back for our team. We can do a lot of big things and take some pressure off of Christian McCaffrey and open up our offense a lot. And for our fourth my fourth biggest thing we need for the Panthers is an interior lineman, maybe a guard, maybe a center. Probably, losing Ryan Khalil is going to be a big issue for us. So I think maybe even getting a center this year, probably a guard, look at a center next year, will be our biggest thing. Like I said, we got no push from our offensive line in the rush game. And if we can get a power back in an interior lineman, so we can get those dives ready, and we can go up the middle and open up those flare routes and those outside boots and everything like that. That can be a huge plus for our offense and keep our O on the field, give our defense some rest, and we can make some moves on offense in the pass game as well. Get some more protection for Cam. So there you have it for me. I don't know from y'all. My top 4: DB, receiver, running back, offensive lineman. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know on my Twitter @Shellatron. Either one works. I got a button right here for you to subscribe. Button right here for you to watch more videos. Namaste. Back sooner than you think.